Hi everybody, in this session we are going to solve previous year's questions from NEET of class 12 biology, chapter 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Question 1. In a flowering plant, archisporium gives rise to option B, both wall and the sporogenous cells. Question 2. The alurone layer in maize grain is especially rich in A. Proteins. 3. In an ovule which becomes curved so that the nucellus and embryo sac lie at right angles add to the funicle is option A. Hemitropous. Question 4. Anthesis is a phenomenon which refers to option D. Opening of flower bud. Question 5. A self-fertilizing trihybrid plant forms 8 different gametes and 64 different zygotes. It's the correct option A. 6. Through which cell of the embryo sac does the pollen tube enter the embryo sac? Option C. Degenerated synergids. Question 7. Which one of the following represents an ovule where the embryo sac becomes horseshoe shaped and the funiculus and micropyle are close to each other? A. Amphitropous. 8. In a type of apomixis known as adventive embryony, embryos develop directly from the option A. nucellus or integuments. Question 9. The arrangement of the nuclei in a normal embryo sac in the dicot plants is option C. 3 plus 2 plus 3. 10. In a cereal grain, the single cotyledon of embryo is represented by option C. scutellum. 11. What would be the number of chromosomes in the cells of the alurone layer in a plant species with 8 chromosomes in its synergids? Synergids are haploid in number, which is n is equal to 8, and chromosomes in alurone layer should be 3n, so therefore 3 8s are option C. 24. 12. Which one of the following is surrounded by a callose wall? It should be option D. Microspore mother cell. 13. Unisexuality of flowers prevents option C. Autogamy but not geitonogamy. 14. Endosperm is consumed by developing embryo in the seed of option A. Pea. 15. What does filiform apparatus do at the entrance into ovule? It guides pollen tube from a synergid to egg. 16. Which one of the following pairs of plant structures has haploid number of chromosomes? It is egg cell and antipodal cells. Option D. 17. Which one of the following plants is monoecious? It is A. Pinus. 18. Apomictic embryos in citrus arise from option B. Maternal sporophytic tissue in ovule. 19. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of another flower of same plant is called B. Geitonogamy. 20. Wind pollinated flowers are B. Small, producing large number of dry pollen grains. 21. Which one of the following is monoecious? It is a repeated question. Option C. Pinus. 22. Filiform apparatus is a characteristic feature of option C. synergid. 23. Nucellar polyembryony is reported in species of option A. Citrus. 24. Which one of the following pollinators is autogamous? D. Cleistogamy. Which one of the following pollinations is autogamous? Option D. Cleistogamy. 25. Wind pollination is common in grasses. Option C. 26. In angiosperms, functional megaspore develops into embryo sac. 27. Both autogamy and geitonogamy are prevented in papaya because it is a dioecious plant. 28. An organic substance that can withstand environmental extremes and cannot be degraded by any enzyme is B. Sporopollen. 29. Even in absence of pollinating agents, seed setting is assured in option A, Camelina. 30. What is the function of germ pore? Initiation of pollen tube, option C. 31. Which one of the following statements is wrong? When pollen is shed at two-celled stage, double fertilization does not take place. B. Vegetative cell is larger than generative cell, correct. Option C. Pollen grains in some plants remain viable for months. D. Intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. So the wrong option is A. 32. Plants with ovaries having only one or a few ovules are generally pollinated by D. Wind. Advantage of cleistogamy is no dependence on pollinators. Yeah, option A. 34. Megasporangium is equivalent to Nucellus. 35. Which one of the following statements is correct? Tapetum nourishes the developing embryo. Tapetum nourishes the developing pollen is the correct option. 36. Which of the following best describes or illustrates feedback in development? 36. As tissue X develops, it secretes something that induces tissue Y to develop. It is positive feedback. Option C is correct. 37. Animal vectors are required for pollination in cucumber. C. 38. Megaspores are produced from the megaspore mother cells after meiotic division. Option D. 39. Which one of the following statements is correct? Cleistogamous flowers are always autogamous is the correct option. 40. Which of the following statements is correct? Spore pollen can be degraded by enzymes. Spore pollen is made up of inorganic materials. Spore pollen can withstand high temperatures as well as strong acids and alkalis. C is correct. 41. Geitonogamy involves fertilization of a flower by the pollen from another flower of the same plant, fertilization of a flower by the pollen from the same flower, fertilization of a flower by the pollen from a flower of another plant in the same population, or fertilization of a flower by the pollen from a flower of another plant belonging to the distant population. The correct option is A. 42. Male gametophyte with least number of cells is present in option C, Lilium. 43. Pollen tablets are available in market for option C, supplementing food. 44. Function of filiform apparatus is to guide the entry of pollen tube. D. 45. Non-albuminous seed is produced in option D, B. 46. Which of the following are important floral rewards to animal pollinators? It is nectar and pollen grains. Option D. 47. Which one of the following may require pollinators but is genetically similar to orthogamy? It is geitonogamy. Option C. 48. Which one of the following statements is not true? So, option B. Honey is made by bees by digesting pollen collected from flowers. It is nectar collected from plants, not pollen. 49. The hilum is a scar on the fruit. The hilum is a scar on the option A, fruit where the style was present. Option B, seed where micropyle was present. Option C, seed where funicle was attached. Option D, fruit where it was attached to pedicel. So the hilum is a scar on the seed where funicle was attached. 49. Option C. 50. Transmission of tissue is characteristic feature of option D, solid style. 51. Filiform apparatus is characteristic feature of option B, synergids. 52. In angiosperms, microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis involves meiosis. Option A. 53. Flowers are unisexual in cucumber. Option D. 54. Male gametophyte in angiosperms produces 2 sperms and a vegetative cell. Option C. 55. Coconut water from a tender coconut is D, free nuclear endosperm. It is directly from NCERT. 56. Which one of the following fruits is parthenocarpic? It is option B, banana. 57. The coconut water from tender coconut represents. Repeated question. A free nuclear endosperm. Option B. 58. Which one of the following statements is not true? Tapetum helps in the dehiscence of anther. Is not true. 59. Seed formation without fertilization in flowering plants involves the process of apomixis. Option B. 60. Which of the following statements is not correct? Pollen grains of many species can germinate on the stigma of a flower, but only pollen tube of the same species grows into the style. C is wrong, because pollen grains of many species cannot germinate on the stigma of a flower. 61. Proximal end of the filament of stamen is attached to the thalamus or petal. 62. Match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option using the codes given below. A. Pistils fused together. 3. Syncarpus. Formation of gametes. Gametogenesis. Hyphae of higher ascomycetes. Dikaryotic. Unisexual female flower called pistillate. So if we match these, we get option D. 63. In majority of angiosperms, reduction division occurs in the megaspore mother cells. Option C. 64. Pollination in water hyacinth and water lily is brought about by the agency of insects or wind. Option D from NCERT. 65. The ovule of an angiosperm is technically equivalent to megasporangium. 66. The functional megaspore in an angiosperm develops into an embryo sac. 67. Attractants and rewards are required for option A. Entomophily, pollination through animals. 68. Flowers which have single ovule and are packed into inflorescence are usually pollinated by option B, wind. 69. A dioecious flowering plant prevents both autogamy and geitonogamy. Option A. 70. Double fertilization is exhibited by clearly option C, angiosperms. Which one of the following has proved helpful in preserving pollen as fossils? It is the sporopollenin. Option D. 72. Winged pollen grains are present in option D, minus. 73. Double fertilization is syngamy and triple fusion. 74. Persistent nucellus in the seed is known as option C, perisperm. 75. What is the fate of the male gametes discharged in the synogyte? Option A. One fuses with the egg and the other fuses with the central cell nuclei. 76. The body of the ovule is fused within the funicle at option C, hilum. 77. In water hyacinth and water lily, pollination takes place by insects or wind. Option C. Repeated question. 78. The plant parts which consist of two generations, one within the another. A. Pollen grains inside the anther. It is correct. B. Germinated pollen grains with two male gametes. No. C. Seed inside the fruit. No. D. Embryo sac inside the ovule. Yes, these are two generations inside one another. So A and D. We have A and D in option B. So that's it. Thank you. Like, subscribe and share the video.